Salary cap crisis. That's a really good headline. Let me walk you through where we are. LeBron James and Anthony Davis will both make $47 million next season.
Jeez.
The Lakers are of the opinion that they want to keep the core four together. They're going to try to re-sign and extend out Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura. Supposedly, they're offering them both 4-year deals worth $60 million apiece. That's a $15 million salary. That's probably doable. I don't know what they're going to do with D'Angelo Russell. The reports that are swirling over this weekend is that D'Angelo Russell, who got benched during the playoffs, who averaged 6 points a game in the most important series the Lakers played and never got off the pines, has asked for 4 years, $200 million. That's 50 mil per campaign.
Yeah, that's more than LeBron and AD.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm led to believe the Lakers are willing to go 2 years, $40 million. It's 20 per season to keep him. He said no. So I would assume he's going on the open market, or maybe there's a trade. There is a rumor. I don't want to see this happen, but there is a rumor that evidently the Lakers approached Dallas. You take Russell and a future number one, we'll take Kyrie Irving. Would you touch that, or is that too toxic for you?
That's really toxic. I don't know if the Lakers even want to go near that, but he had an okay relationship with LeBron in Cleveland, right? Those guys worked
till
together.
The end, and then he didn't want to be there anymore.
Right.
There's a track record here about Kyrie Irving, Cleveland, Boston, Brooklyn, Dallas. Work out any of those places?
No, no way.
He's kind of radioactive to me. Great talent, but a great deal of baggage. You want to go there? I don't know about that. So the Lakers, they've got some tough decisions to make. They do have a late number one pick, 17, but that's way down the boards. That's just a young body. They got a lot of young bodies. Most of them can't play. So Lakers got a big issue. Across the hallway, the Clippers situation. They've got Paul George and they got Kawhi Leonard, and they're $40 million over the cap. They have a huge set of decisions to make as to who they're going to keep and who they're going to get rid of. They've got 3 big men knocking down crazy money. Marcus Morris, who's never been able to hold on to a starting job, is supposed to make $22 million next season. The three-point shooter, Nicholas Batum, who's hot, who's cold, who's good, who's bad. He's supposed to make almost $12 million. They got another forward that's making $11 million that hardly plays. They need to dispatch those guys so they can get down from that $40 million cap figure. Where do they go to get more players to put around Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, who are oft injured? And this 3-year run with those guys has ended up the same way the prior 3-year run ended up with Blake Griffin and Chris Paul. Good, but not good in the postseason. The postseason ends and everybody's hurt. So the Clippers have got a real big issue there. And I haven't mentioned the other guy, Russell Westbrook.
Oh, yeah.
They do want him back. But that price tag, is that $30 million for an aging guy? But he did play well. There were stretches of time where he became the glue when everything else was falling apart. They do want him back. And it's been interesting because a couple of teams have approached the Lakers about talking to Coach Tyrone Lue about leaving and going somewhere else. And the Clippers said initially the Clippers thought out of I think fairness to Lue, because he's been such a good leader of that team through all the trauma, we'll give teams a chance, but they have to give us a second-round pick just for the right to talk. And if somebody wanted to hire him, you'd have to give us your number one. But then they changed their mind, did a U-turn, and they've informed everybody in the NBA, we won't allow anybody to interview Coach Lue. They want him to stay. They want him to guide this team going forward. So you got your 2 stars, but they're oft injured. That's a big issue. What do you do with the rest of the team?
This is crazy. I mean, you're right, because they are hurt all the time. Kawhi and Paul George. It just seems like the NBA model is interesting how they assemble a roster. You'll try to get 2, maybe 3 superstars and then fill the rest of the roster with some role guys, some young guys, hope some of them catch fire. It makes me wonder, the guys that are in the front office for the Lakers and the Clippers, they've got to have analytics guys there, just like they do in baseball, but you don't really hear too much about analytics in basketball. So it makes me wonder, what kind of criteria they use to pick those supporting cast guys. I mean, how do they know which guy is going to be the right fit to match up with Kawhi and Paul George?
That's a very intriguing question. Nick Batum was a really good three-point shooter in Charlotte on Michael Jordan's team, and he wanted out because of all the losing, and they wound up getting him. And he said stretches where he buries a lot of threes makes a difference, but no consistency whatsoever. And he's got a lot of mileage on him. And, Morris, the big power type guy, shoots threes, rebounds, does all that stuff. No consistency. He's been in and out of the starting lineup. Robert Covington, whom they got from Portland a couple of years ago, had a good final third of one season. You thought, oh, the kid's arrived. Kid disappeared, was MIA. That was him down at the end of the bench next to the water boy.
Right.
So they've got some real issues. How do you solve this thing with the Lakers or the Clippers? If you can go get a veteran guy who's been in the league a long time and hasn't won anything lately or is about to get phased out, maybe you take a run. I'll throw the name at you. How would Draymond Green look as the third wheel for the Lakers on a one-year contract? How would Draymond Green complement Kawhi and PG across the hallway with the Clippers? That kind of guy on a short-term rental because he wants to win a ring.
Yeah, well, that's almost like Bumgarner signing with the Dodgers, getting a Golden State Warrior on the Lakers or the Clippers. I like the idea, the strategy of a veteran coming in for a year or two, maybe their leadership, their chemistry, their will to win will make a difference. But yeah, who is that guy? I mean, I'm kind of running through some other names in my head, and I'm not sure who that is. But I just can't imagine Draymond playing for an LA team. That's another dark side move.
True, but the guy does play. The guy's got value. The guy's tough. The guy's got leadership capabilities. Yes, he does throw punches occasionally at his own teammates. Golden State might be on the brink of a real overhaul, a real transition because of the way it just ended and the fact that Steve Kerr was very critical about we were never, ever a championship team and we never, ever recovered from Draymond Green throwing that punch in the beginning of the season at Jordan Poole. So keep that in mind.
Well, I got one more question for you, Lee. With these NBA teams, they're trying to fit everything in the salary cap. Do you think the owners would ever say, it's too hard to build a winning franchise? Maybe we need to increase the cap.
Well, the cap does go up. Cap goes up based on the gross revenues.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem was, as they created what was the salary cap initially, the smart guy agents, lawyers, smart guy agents figured ways to work around the cap. And the cap evolved very differently than it was intended. It is not really a hard cap. You can go over the cap signing your own in-house free agents. Now, you can't go over the cap to sign somebody else's star to a 5-year or a 4-year contract. So the cap rules have changed. They're trying to get it back under control. There's all types of exceptions. And I would be here till next Monday if I tried to explain them all to you.
Right.
And you're not that smart that even you could understand that, because I can't understand it, and I live this every day of the week. So, no, the cap has been massaged, changed, and adjusted. You just got to make better decisions with the kind of contracts